Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, I came across an article just today that I think you're going to find interesting, to say the least, and I encourage you guys to check it out. But this particular article is asking the question, why is no one talking about the water crisis here in America? Now, we need water to survive, obviously, something we need even above and beyond anything else, because we're made up of a majority of water, but water is essential and water is a must. Well, if we have a water crisis underway, then I think this is something we need to pay attention to. Now, let me just take you straight to the article so you can see it for yourself. This is on naturalblaze.com, and it was put out on the 15th of January, but it's titled "An American Water Crisis is Just Around the Corner and No One's Talking About It." Now, this report goes on to say that anyone who's paying attention to the local news has seen the signs of the coming apocalypse in the U.S. Although they are probably not aware of it, while many equate a water crisis to the sucking up of resources by big business interest or an offhand moment of pollution from the local industry, there is another type of water crisis looming over America. It goes on, it's not just Coca-Cola and property rights, it's the future of municipalities, states, and the federal government to ensure that drinking water is actually drinkable. Now, it goes on, there's a number of incidents in the past few years that showcase the crumbling infrastructure of the U.S. and the lower living standards of Americans and what they're being forced to accept. They go on to reference Flint, Michigan is the most notable and recognized instance of water pollution in recent memory. The crisis is still ongoing, and while the U.S. has plenty of money for Israel, foreign aid, and foreign wars, it simply can't fix anything in its already tight budgeted belt to help people of Flint access clean water. At this point, the U.S. federal government is doing more to help Africans than it is to help African Americans. Unfortunately for Flint, state and local governments are the reason for the crisis in the first place. And he goes on to reference our crumbling infrastructure. But not only Flint, it references a few more places. And it says some of those are Warren, Pennsylvania, Goat Island, Texas, also Baltimore, Cleveland, and Philadelphia, all lead poisoning that has spanned generations. There's also Colorado Springs, which was discovered to have contained contaminated water due to flame retardant stuff used by the military base in the area. Also Toledo, Ohio, who had bacteria infused water. And it also mentions fracking and some of the implications that can have on our water system. So in a nutshell, I read this entire report, but what it's basically stating is that our crumbling infrastructure could have some impacts on our water supply. Now, that said, obviously, there are millions of people who need water in countries abroad. They're still attempting to access clean water sources in Africa and many continents as well, even parts of Asia. But we, as the American people, while that is important, we also have to focus on the importance of the infrastructure here and make sure ourselves are healthy in order to take care of others. Because let's just be blunt here. There is so much stuff that's being poured in our water. Things like fluoridation, fluoride in the water. That's not a good thing. They are adding that. If you can get something that takes that out, make sure you have a purifier. But not only that, but prescription drugs are getting dumped into our water supply. People flush things down the toilet. I do not do any of that. I encourage you not to flush those kinds of things down the toilet because it will get in the water supply. And there's not an extremely precise way, at least through the cities and local municipalities, that are getting that out to the brink or as best of their ability. So there's lots of things that are affecting our supply, and not to mention what's in our ground. We bury our trash and these kinds of things. So we need to be prepared that there are cities all across the country here in America that have had problems with the water supply. So I just want to give everyone a heads up on that. I don't think we're going to run out of water right now. That's not the case. I just want to encourage you, keep yourself healthy. Make sure you pay attention to what's coming out of your water supply, because we don't want to end up like Flint, Michigan. And look, our government needs to focus on things like Flint, Michigan and on our water supply first and foremost, so we can make sure that we have a healthy people and good people here in America, because it is a #1 concern. Anyhow, I wanted to bring you guys the latest on all of that. Please don't forget to check out my partners. at virtualshield.com/Lisa Haven for your IP scrambler and all that. And if you want to donate, you can do that via Patreon in the link below to my channel directly. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'd love to get your comments and concerns on that. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.